Hey kids, I see by the old clock on the wall that it's time once again for Creepy Cheapies. Okay, you got me. There's really no clock on the wall. I don't know why that is. I see by the hourglass that it's time once again for Creepy Cheapies with Dr. Lady, where we look for cool Halloween masks. I am Hoyt Axton, inventor of Hoyt Cuisine. And you know, in the reality with which you're most familiar, and in the reality with which I am most familiar, Don Post Studios closed in 2012. It was a very sad time in the world of mask collecting, but it was the end of the line for Don Post Studios, the legendary mask company. But if you're familiar with the theory that is sometimes referred to as the multiverse theory, it postulates that there are basically an infinite number, quintillions of alternate realities taking place all around us. Alternate dimensions with alternate timelines, alternate histories. And for example, every time you make a decision, like you decide to wear your red shirt instead of your blue shirt, well, you just spun off an entire new alternate reality, one in which you wore the red shirt, in which everything was the same up until today you wore the red shirt. And then there's another reality where everything was the same up until today, but you wore the blue shirt. See, so there are any number of alternate realities out there. So it stands to reason that if that were the case, then in some of those realities, Don Post Studios would not have been shut down in 2012. It would have continued to produce masks. It would have continued to live long and prosper and make more masks. And it seems like one of those alternate realities is where you would find this mask. This thing is called the Green Corpse. I don't name them, folks. It's called the Green Corpse. I'm not responsible for that. Clearly, the people who make masks need to start coming here to Horror Hotel and talk to me so that I can give them names for their masks, because this guy is too cool to just be called Green Corpse. Now, what's so cool about him? Well, as I hinted at previously, he is something that would have been released by Don Post Studios. Would have, had they stayed in business. He was on the docket, as it were. He was slated for release. So in one of those alternate realities, like you know, a 2013 or a 2014 Don Post catalog, which didn't exist in our reality, would have existed, and it would have had the Green Corpse in it. And he would have looked like this. This thing actually was released in our reality by the people at Trick or Treat Studios. And it's part of their Don Post commemorative Don Post series, but it never really was released by Don Post Studios, but it was sculpted there and it was planned for release before they were shut down, you see. So, had they continued on, this would have been a Don Post mask. And you're thinking, yeah, it's another corpse, right? The world needs another corpse like it needs another hole in the head. Well, you see, what I like about this particular corpse, several things I like about it. One thing, it's super dramatic because it's just got these abnormally round eye holes and the round mouth, like he's doing this kind of surprised, shocked, bewildered expression that is very unusual among zombies. I like that. I like very much the fact that he's green underneath even. I don't know if you can really see that on your monitor. Sometimes the color green looks a little strange and inaccurate on monitors, I find, but if you could see this clearly and see the proper color, you would see that he's a darker green underneath, and corpses are usually either brown or black underneath. He's got a dark green showing through the cracks and crevices and such, which gives him a really odd look. It imparts an almost plant matter look to him. And as far as the spooky face, I think he reminds me of maybe 1960s movies. He looks like something that would have been in, you know, a William Castle movie like 13 Ghosts or something like that. An almost old school kind of spooky because of that screaming face. And as you can see, he's got a few little punched in hairs here, which are very effective. And this is nice. A lot of times masks that have punched in hairs, the hair is just punched in and that's it, and the first time you put the mask on you're going to tear that hair out of there. This guy actually has a tiny little drop of latex dabbed on inside the mask, inside each place where the hair pokes through. And I didn't do that, it came that way, so I'm pretty impressed, to help hold the hair in place, help keep it in there. It also has, I don't know if you could see this, but, so I'm going to mention it, it has the black mesh fabric in the eyes, okay, so that you don't lose that effect of that creepy, dramatic shock effect of the big black eye sockets and the big black round open mouth. You don't lose that because they can't see your eyes when you're wearing it. And when I first saw this guy, I thought to myself, I thought, there's a lot of detail in the mouth. Do you see that? I don't know if it's going to show up either, but there's a lot of stretchy, goopy, nasty, rotted stuff running up and down between his upper and lower choppers there. And I thought, you know, I should highlight that with some paint of some sort so that it's maybe brown or red or green or something, because you can't see it and all that detail is there, but it's wasted. But I sort of thought better of it, and I determined that no, it's creepier this way. It's creepier with it just left black, because again, you get that shocking look on his face that's very different from other zombies and ghost type masks. An interesting variant I would like to see, I think this guy would make an excellent glow-in-the-dark mask. If this had, you know, the glow-in-the-dark paint that, well, like they used to use in the 70s on certain masks and glow-in-the-dark Halloween decorations and stuff. Wouldn't that be cool on this guy if they did a glow version? Just a thought. And as for that name, Green Corpse, you know, you guys come up with a better name for him. Come up with a good name for this dried out, green, shocked and bewildered looking screaming corpse with his wispy gray hair and his open mouth and his nicely shaded teeth and his big scary black eye sockets. Come up with a good name for him and leave it in the comments, provided that is you're watching this on some sort of forum in which you can leave comments. Leave comments and come up with a name for him, and we'll go through and we'll all enjoy reading the different names for this mask that would be a better name for him than just plain old Green Corpse, because I think he's so horrible he deserves a better name than that. Yeah. And well, if you come up with a really wonderful, smashing, brilliant, great, awesome name for him, I probably won't give you a generous cash prize in this reality, although in some reality I definitely will.